have a great responsibility in front of us. As you can see behind Justice, today's episode. Got a hint? What's going on, y'all? This is TSTPC once again. Got myself, Kevin, in here. Got Justin here. Got Miles in here with us today. Shout out to the people. But today, we'll be doing a movie review about a man who makes a wish that goes wrong and has to deal with the after effects of his wish, managing relationships, and learning about himself in the process. We're not talking about obsession. We're talking about Spider-Man.
There you go, got some better light. That's the music though.
But we're talking about Spider-Man.
That's
A brand new
that
day.
ain't even the right music though.
For those that don't know, Brand New Day comes 5 years after the critically acclaimed Jon Watts trilogy. If you're not familiar, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. And this trilogy stars Tom Holland returning as Spider-Man, finding his way from high school freshman to Avengers superhero. The factual differences between the previous Home trilogy and Brand New Day starts with, first off, the new director, Destin Cretton. Cretton is popularly... Yes, he did. Cretton is popularly known for his past Marvel work such as Shang-Chi, Wonder Man, and the upcoming live-action Naruto, for those that don't know. I did not know he was doing that.
I knew you was gonna be surprised when you saw that. When you saw that, I knew this dude Kevin was gonna be like, "What?"
Live action Naruto?
He's making a live-action Naruto, bro.
Oh my lord!
Hey, we might have to talk about that later. See if he can, if anybody can really pull off a live-action Naruto, though. I don't know. But before we even talk about Naruto, we got to talk about the new challenge that he's taking on with Brand New Day. Brand New
Day. Calm down, brother. Get it out, Julian.
Here you go. But, first we got to start off with his background. He hails from Hawaii. Shout out to Hawaii. He went to school in San Diego, worked with at-risk youth in a foster care system, and began his film journey as a hobby making short films. And I think all that work that he's done throughout his life, I think Brand New Day is a culmination of those experiences. But before we start talking about the movie, let's set the table with my brothers to see where we're at. First off, what was Spider-Man in your head before Brand New Day? Do you guys think he was in a good place? What did you think about him?
In relation to Tom Holland Spider-Man?
In relation to Spider-Man in general. So we can talk about Tom Holland, Marvel Rivals, the comics, anything like that.
I went in hopeful, but with low expectations because No Way Home to me was just a bunch of fan service. And then the only other place you've really seen Spider-Man as of late is Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac Games, and I haven't even played that one. And then Marvel Rivals. And obviously that new Tokon game that's coming out, but I don't even think you could play as Spider-Man in the demo or whatever. But I don't know, Spider-Man's always been that dude though, so I was still excited to see another Spider-Man film.
Yeah. What about you, Miles? Where were you at with Spider-Man prior to Brand New Day?
Man, you already know I'm rocking with Miles Morales. 10 Toes, best movie in all time, 1 and 2. Hopefully they flush it and that third trilogy is it, but I don't know, Spider-Man, he alright. He hard, but to me, like I said, y'all, when I be talking to y'all, I'm telling y'all, I like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
I never seen Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, so what was it about that Spider-Man in relation to like Tobey Maguire and everything else that came before that spoke to you?
I think Andrew Garfield more real, like more relatable. Like he really went through some shit. Like he lost Gwen. Like Shawty died. Toby ain't lose nobody. But Uncle Ben, you gotta think about Andrew Garfield like Uncle Ben and Gwen. Like
Mm.
Toby ain't lose Gwen.
He
Huh?
lost Harry, his best friend.
He killed that nigga, bro. Like, he the reason why that nigga died, bro. But Andrew Garfield hard. If I had to choose between the three, I mean, I'll say this now, but after watching No Way Home, I got more respect for Tom Holland for sure.
We'll definitely touch on kind of how we felt after the movie. I think from my perspective, the last Spider-Man movie or Spider-Man in general I was exposed to was Miles Morales. Like Miles said, those movies are absolutely incredible, from acting to art direction to just Miles presenting himself as Miles Morales and also Spider-Man. I think it's tricky to get the man and the mask both to be relatable and also entertaining at the same time. And I think the Into the Spider-Verse movies really did that. Also, shout out to Shameik Moore. I think he's done an amazing job kind of carrying Miles Morales. More recently with With Marvel Rivals, I don't think he really made an impact on me like that.
That dude
And
is
for those
annoying in that joint though.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, Thor on Marvel Rivals. Hey, ask
Alright.
Miles about my Thor. Yeah.
This
Miles?
is a brand new day review, man.
He ain't touching Hulk.
But yeah, I just think Spider-Man was in an interesting place. And recently I started reading the Absolute Green Lantern comic. And just to see how grounded and more serious DC has become, I kind of wanted that for Marvel, especially. I'm not a big superhero guy, but when I do watch superhero movies, I want them to be relatable. Man of Steel is another great relatable superhero film. And I think after the Spider-Man game, I was looking for that. But how did you guys perceive the first trilogy of films from Jon Watts, the Tom Holland films?
To be honest, I didn't mind them, but I really think it set this fourth installment up really well because you kind of got to see Spider-Man and Peter Parker in Homecoming, kind of just like a whiny brat, basically. I mean,
Mm,
more or less. You know what I'm saying? Just like I want to do this, I want to do that. Without really uh, pondering his decisions or like thinking about consequences or who may be affected in the process of him doing his thing. And then Far From Home, I don't know, that's probably my least favorite out of the trilogy.
mm,
And I can't really recall it that well because I haven't seen it in a while, but
That's the one with Mysterio, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, so I can't really speak on that one that much. But and then No Way Home, it seemed like he was starting to mature, but still making reckless decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole movie basically happened because he couldn't keep his mouth shut when Doctor Strange was casting the spell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this fourth one is a good stepping stone from the last three because I guess the last three were good stepping stones to this fourth one because now it's Peter and Spider-Man really dealing with all the consequences and all the stupid decisions that he's made in the previous films
mm.
and kind of having to figure out how to be Spider-Man in a world where he's the only one who knows he's Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
But they lean into like that registration thing where we know that where the heroes get registered or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
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 So they still might end up knowing who Spider Man is.
Mm. Yeah, Mysterio's whole thing was that he exposed Peter Parker's identity, and then No Way Home was him working with Strange to kind of make everyone forget that. But I think it went too far, or something along those lines. But Miles, going to you, what did you think about the original trilogy prior to this film? Did it connect with you? Was it something that You have it on Apple TV. You got the physical disc. Like,
You know, I got all of them on Apple TV, but before this fourth movie, like I don't know, I just thought they didn't make sense.
mm,
Um, it just
why?
it just wasn't Spider Man. Like Judge just said, like now with the fourth movie, it's now like, oh, this is Spider Man, like baby Spider Man. Like they done
Mm,
went like he a kid growing up. You get what I'm saying? Like, but it still don't make sense because technically none of that shit happened because it was erased with the spell. You get what I'm saying? So it's like technically that stuff didn't happen, but just to have it and seeing him grow up throughout the years, throughout
mm,
these movies, when you get to this fourth movie, it's like, oh, this movie is about responsibility. This movie is about being accountable for your actions. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this movie put respect on his name. We're like, okay, I respect it now. But like them other movies, they were just, I don't know, too childish and kiddie to me for real. To be Spider Man, like when you go back and you look at like Tobey Maguire or even uh Andrew Garfield's and they villains. Like his villains wasn't even that serious for real. They was like kid villains. Like
yeah.
Vulture, he wasn't really no villain for real. Like he wasn't doing nothing threatening. Like what did he really do? He was just a regular guy in some wingsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like Mysterio was just putting on illusions. Like it was like kid villains. He ain't really
Mm,
see some real action till he got the No Way Home, bro. And all the villains from the other Spider-Mans pulled up and showed them like, hey, this shit get real out here, nigga. Like, my bad, I ain't mean to say, yeah, but you
no,
know
you
what I'm
good.
saying? Yeah. But
To interject, I do feel like Mysterio though had a deeper purpose behind what he was doing to expose Spider-Man, and that's kind of what led to all these events. But yeah, as far as being like a
threat,
physical threat to
yeah,
Spider-Man, nah, not really.
he
Hmm.
was more like a mental threat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So before we get into the thoughts during the film, where did everyone watch uh Brand New Day? And did that experience and that environment add or detract from your viewing experience?
Man, I go right down the street, Coalina movie theater, man.
Yeah.
But all the movie theaters out here be lit though in
Mm.
Hawaii.
So
They
it was
all
fine.
got
Like people were reacting, yelling, all that.
so it's Hawaii, so you got Asians, you got Japanese folk, you got Filipino, you know what I'm saying? So they be in it,
Konnichiwa.
like on God, like so when I showed up, immediately you just see Spider Man suits, like everybody Spider Man, full mask and all, like so that was cool to see all the people like excited for the movie.
Hmm.
Um, I ain't really had nothing like extravagant, like no 4K, I mean 4D, but
You ain't
like we
got your
had
mask on, though. You ain't had your tighty whitey, blue and
nah.
red tight.
I ain't Spider Man ain't like he ain't like that for me. Like they ain't my hero, my go to hero. Like,
Yeah.
but in terms of like we had Dolby Atmos and all that. But every
Mm.
movie theater out here got like recliner seats. Every movie theater out here you can eat inside. Like they sell alcohol, so it was cool. I was chillax.
Yeah.
Had that Joe, I had that seat right there where they do the wheelchair. I was like smack dead in the middle too. Like
I
I had the
told
perfect
Kevin, man.
seats.
I told Kevin this dude Miles be tripping.
Perfect seats.
Hey,
Somebody pull up in a wheelchair and get in my seat.
hey, they finna roll over his foot, dog. That's what's gonna happen, man.
It's hush puppies, dog.
Hey, nah. Just how was your experience at your viewing location?
I will say to me this is a must see in the theater. So while you have the
Mm.
opportunity, go see it in the most extravagant way possible. Because um, just with all the sounds, like the set pieces and all that stuff, is is really cool to see on the big screen. I also did not see it in 3D yet. But you know, me and you went to Atlantic Station to the Regal movie theater, and it was packed. I mean, it looked like the whole theater was packed, and we had some goofballs in the front, man. Just well, first of all, Kevin was like, "Man, why it look so dark?" And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It is dark." So he went and told the people the movie looked dark. So you know, about five minutes in, the screen shuts off, but
Hey,
we could
bro.
still hear the audio. And everybody in the theater was like, "Man, hey, that dude Kevin was like, I'm finna get my money
Hey,
back."
bro. Hey,
But
bro.
then it was cool. We was in the front row, like not front, but like the back of the front, and it was straight.
Yeah.
But like people's heads was in the way. Um, but it was still enjoyable. But like I said, it had some cornballs up in the front trying to be cool, making all this noise. Then I went and saw it again at a movie theater closer to where I stay, and we sat in the perfect spot. It was like right above the handicap spot, in recliner seats, Dolby Atmos. Uh, just a way better experience, but definitely a must see in theaters type thing. So
Yeah.
for me,
Regal, shout out to Regal, man. If y'all want to sponsor TSTPC, shit, you know what I'm saying. But uh, walking in, we got there a little early so we could get drinks and stuff like that. And we're talking about Regal at Atlantic Station, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get that clear. You feel me? Uh, so upon walking in, like Jess said, it was super packed. But there was this amazing artist. Shout out to him, True Arts. Instagram TRUUARTZ_. Go ahead and look at his page on Instagram. Uh, Black artist, phenomenal, dope art. You can find it on our Instagram as well if you want to check it out. But uh, had the opportunity to chop it up with him. He was making art for about 9 years, and he had artwork. I'm talking maybe 6 foot tall art pieces of Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, just comic book panels of amazing art. So that was really nice to see walking into the theater. We saw the movie in RPX. Uh,
yeah, that's what it
like Jess
was.
said, yeah, like Jess said when we sat down. Unfortunately, the image quality was not the best, which is why I believe Jess probably saw it again, and I also went to go see it again as well. And this time we went to Fitz Plaza. You can call it a movie. You went to Fitz Plaza. That jump was hard. Had Dolby Atmos as well, and it made the experience so much more better having that 3D surround sound. So if you have the opportunity, go to Regal, but I highly recommend Phipps Plaza as well.
But if you live in Alaska, you probably won't be able to go to Fitzpatrick.
All right, Justin.
Now that I think we're about to officially get into the review. After seeing the film a couple times, what does Brand New Day mean?
That's a great question. Hey man, Scholar Justice in the building, dog.
A reset.
Mm.
Cause the first three films, like I said, they don't really exist. So I think a brand new day is like the start of the actual Spider-Man that they want to give us. Like, if you could compare Toby trilogy with Andrew, he ain't never get a third movie, but hopefully he do. And Tom Holland, I think this will be the comparison. This trilogy that Tom Holland does will be the comparison to those movies.
I align with what Miles says for additional reasons. From a meta perspective, having the new director, um, and having a deeper insight into Spider-Man. I know I mentioned earlier before, Cretton has a background in small films, or not, excuse me, short films. And one short film he made is called Short Term 12, and it's basically capturing the life of staff workers working in a foster care system. And I watched the trailer. I haven't watched the film yet, but I think it really captures the humanity and kind of the grittiness of life, both the highs and the lows. And what I think is important is that Cretton took that experience and that knowledge, and I feel like he applied it in Brand New Day. So just having Cretton's hands on it, it kind of being inherited from Jon Watts. I think in one way that's Brand New Day. I think in another way, just him restarting the relationships he has in the movie. It's a complete reset, like Miles said. And it's interesting to see Spider-Man navigate through that reset, because I think it's hard for anyone when you kind of lose your support system. How do you begin anew? How do you start tomorrow without having what you had yesterday? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I think about when you ask the question, what does Brand New Day mean after seeing the film?
Interesting.
What about you?
Well, for me, after watching the film, basically all those points, and him becoming one. He's not two individuals, Spider-Man or Peter Parker, but they're one and the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, this film really hit on the point of him being able to not only be Peter Parker, but be Spider-Man. And I think with his partner being the Punisher, he really got a sense of that, because the Punisher was like, bruh, if I had my family back, I wouldn't be running around in a mask. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't run around with a mask. People know he's Frank Castle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what comes with the territory. You know what I mean? Like, and Peter Parker got to see,
Real.
like, yeah, he got to see, like, okay, I erased everybody's memory of me. And in his mind, he's thinking that's to protect them. But it's more real to have them in your life, as opposed to them never knowing you existed. Or, yeah, because they don't even know him. They don't even know Peter Parker. So him having to bear that weight, like, it played a real emotional toll on his psyche and his mental. And I think after having that conversation with the Punisher, he was like, bruh, I wouldn't be a coward. You know what I'm saying? Hiding behind a mask.
Throughout the movie, they was hinting shit like that though, because
Yeah.
Zendaya had said when she had looked at that chip he was working on. Remember, she had mentioned like, this some real crap, this some real intense stuff you're doing. Like, and he like, yeah, I know. Like, and then she was like, what are you trying to hide? Like, he like, I'm a
Right.
monster, and she like, you don't seem like a monster. And then he was like, well, I am. Like, and then she like, well, maybe what's trying to come out needs to come out. Like, throughout the
Yeah.
movie, everybody was like hinting to him, like, hey, bro, like,
And still you got to see, like, even though you erased everybody's memory of you in their minds, the memories of them still exist in yours. And when you come up against somebody like Jean Grey, those people are still in danger. So why live with them not knowing who you are, as opposed to your best friend, your girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Whoever, the people you care about, and just accepting the fact that with with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it was a little destructive to erase everybody's memories and not responsible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it also harks back to what Tony said to him in Homecoming. If you aren't as strong without the suit, then you don't deserve the suit. And I feel
Right.
like at the end of No Way Home, him
I
making
forgot he
everyone
said that.
forget was almost a defense mechanism. Like he thought he was ready for the suit by the end of Homecoming when uh Tony was like, "Hey, I got this new suit. I got the reporters behind the wall. Are you ready to take this on?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna do my own thing." Like, and then
Yeah.
Far From Home, and then No Way Home, he's rocking out as Spider-Man, but it didn't really hit the fan until No Way Home. And then when it did, it was almost like, okay, I gotta run away from this. I gotta push everybody away from me and make sure they're safe. And I don't know, I just came to that realization as we're talking about it. And I think Brand New Day really feels like Peter Parker is ready to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah. And kind of touching to what Miles said about everybody saying, "Hey, like it sounds like what you're going through is natural. You just need help." Like Banner said, I'm paraphrasing here. Banner said, and I'm reading some of the script, by the way, audience. So if you're listening, this is some of the script from Brand New Day. Banner says, "How would you decide?" And then Peter says, "What's that?" Banner, "Well, what parts of nature are good or bad?" Banner, "What if you're trying to control the expression of something that needs to be expressed?" And I think there's so many lines, like Miles said, in this movie that all point back to the theme of what the movie is truly about. At least from my perspective, what I think it's about, which we can kind of dive into a little bit more. But let's kind of step out from this deep conversation. I just want to ask a side question: the new Spidey suit, yay or nay? What are you guys thinking?
I was feeling that. I almost wish they would have kept the one that they had at No Way Home at the end of No Way Home, bro, where it was a little more shiny and like,
Oh yeah. Facts.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I didn't like
Yeah.
that one.
That
But
would have
this
been
one,
hard
Nobody.
though.
yeah, facts. But this one was hard for. It was hard for some of the set pieces because at the beginning where they're showing that montage of him fighting his little rose gallery, you know what I'm saying? I guess B list. They kind of took like and I know we're probably gonna get into the special effects and all that, but they took this. You knew it was green screen, but it kind of reminded me of like Sin City almost a little bit. If y'all have ever
Mm,
seen that, like the um the effects when he was fighting like when he first ran up on those dudes on the rooftop and he was fighting
mm-hmm.
them. That junk kind of reminded and Tombstone and Boomerang and all those dudes, like it reminded me of that, and the suit fit really well in that kind of like imagery.
Well, looking a little thick in the beginning though before he jumped out that roof. Them
Hey,
homo type shit, but
Hey, hey,
I like, God, yeah, nigga a little beefy, ain't he?
hey, that dude was
but
red, dog. Hey.
facts. But I will say I like it because I really like it a lot better than the Iron Spider-Man suit because that
Mm,
suit is all CGI. So this suit really,
mm,
this is a more practical. It looked like he put it on just like Toby's Spider-Man. That's why I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
mm.
real
Yeah.
suit. You know what I mean?
Even him
Yeah,
pulling down his mask. I think
Yeah.
that's an iconic thing for Spider Man, pulling down the mask.
right.
Exactly. And
And then
all
they
these.
even did the roll up with the kiss. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that joke was
Hey,
hard. I was in the theater
Yeah.
like,
yeah, what? Everybody, bro, everybody in the theater was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was me. I was like,
I know,
hey,
dog."
Bro,
Peter.
I do not like that Iron Spider suit, bro. That's not even
Nah,
a
No.
real Iron Spider, bro.
it's
Like
not. It's not, bro.
That shit
Nah,
cool.
nah.
Like Miles was saying, it's cool that he actually pulls mask off and on, because these most recent Marvel films with
It was
the
awesome.
characters that do wear masks, all of them are nanobots and blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
nobody, like, it's not traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw in the Doomsday trailer, like Cyclops is wearing the actual X-Men suit, bro. They're not wearing a black suit. Like they're getting back to the comic roots of the suits. That's why I like it.
Yeah. And the fact you could see like Peter's eyes through the goggles sometimes, that was hard.
Facts.
Yeah, that was clean.
I ain't see it though. I ain't see it though.
If
There was
you
a
like
couple of
when
moments.
yeah, like when Hulk was holding him down, like you can see his eyes. He's like, Hulk, like don't do this. And you can see the anxiety in his eyes if you look close enough. That junk's fire. But like I said, I recently watched Homecoming, and that was mostly, like you guys said, CGI. Like I think a lot of the effects that you were seeing, there's videos out saying Tom Holland does most of the stunts for Spider-Man because he has a background in gymnastics, which is cool. But I don't think the blend of practical effects and CGI, especially starting off in Homecoming, was that great. And now looking at Brand New Day and how they put the camera on the web line, so as he's swinging between the buildings, you get that visceral effect. You hear the wind blowing. It feels
That
like
boy
you're
was
swinging.
swinging.
Man, that jump was so fire. Him doing flips in the air like the video game, like that jump was tough. That's how you make.
I
Huh?
ain't like that though. The
Why?
flips. You swag jacking, boy. You know you ain't doing that. That Miles Morales,
Man.
man. That Miles Morales, man. Nah, he was moving though when he was swinging. They were probably like the best scenes though. The swings, like his ass
Yeah.
was moving, bro. Moving.
Mm-hmm. And like just said, like some of the small, like the Sin City effect when Spider-Man was getting overstimulated and he started moving around. It looks like we lost Miles for a little bit. He'll probably come back. But as Spider-Man was feeling oversensitivity and oversensitized, if that's a word, and you hear the effects, the sounds start to amplify and things like that, like it really puts you into Spider-Man shoes in a way that I don't think previous Tom Holland Spider-Man films did it. And I think that's why people love Spider-Man 2 so much, because it's like, man, I can relate to Spider-Man, or I can empathize with Spider-Man going through all this stuff. And by the end, you're exhausted for him. You want to win for him. And I think it was the same in Brand New Day. The next question I wanted to ask you guys is, how did Brand New Day speak to you? And the reason why I asked this question is because Cretton kind of had a specific vision for Brand New Day. He's quoted as saying that the final scene of the movie where Peter visits Aunt May's grave is the first scene that they shot. And Tom Holland freestyled, or for a different term, he improvised the line in that scene, which is, I think you'll be happy to know that I'm not going to do this alone. That wasn't written in the script. He just spoke that into existence, and Cretton said that became the DNA for the rest of the film. So I thought it was very interesting that Cretton mentioned that as being kind of the first step on the path of a Brand New Day, because he wasn't really sure of where he wanted to go with it. He also stated that he wanted this Spider-Man to capture the fact that life can really hurt and be unfair, but also to be so jaded that we miss that life also has so much more potential, and that you can have genuine educated hope at the end of the day. So he wanted to capture both that dark and light of Spider-Man. So with that being said, Cretton obviously had a specific vision for a brand new day, and I'm curious as to how it spoke to you guys.
It
Take
spoke
it
to me
away.
through like just the growth. Like I felt like the whole movie was just about maturing and accepting responsibility and becoming um what you are, like what you already are. Just growth. Like I can't. It's growth to me. I know, like even it's not, yeah, Jean Grey in the movie. Like her, I know she grew in, like with X-Men, they grow when they experience like traumas and stuff, but or evolve. But like even with her, like she had to grow too. Like everybody in the movie grew in a way, from Peter
Mm,
Parker, Spider Man, Jean Grey, even Punisher. Like he started to have like some feelings. Like just say that he got dang crazy. He do crazy stuff. Like his family was murdered, but he starting to like have a relationship and being able to communicate, and he not being like so bogged down where he not You know what I'm saying? Talking to people and stuff
right.
like that. So when I left the theater, bro, I was just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't, but what I took from the movie was just growth. Like, okay, he growing up. Like
Yeah.
it restarted my what I think about Spider Man, Tom Holland Spider Man. Like you're like, all right,
Mm.
I give you a second chance. Cause the first three movies to me, it just it's just some Spider Man movies to throw on. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this right here, I
Is
feel is
my
going
new swag. Oh,
facts. No cap.
Hey man.
I feel like this right here is going to be his legacy, the built legacy of the Spider Man, and it may be talked about. It should be talked about for decades. From this movie right here going
Hmm.
forward, I think it would be talked about. But nah, I keep that. Y'all gotta go get good.
Hold on. What you about to say? Hold
I was gonna
on.
say I just don't want them to just. I need him to have his own movie, like with
Mm.
nobody in it. I just
No
want
Hulk, no Punisher.
right, like
Yeah.
it, like I, some people saying that you ain't even really need Hope. What was Hope there for? You know what I'm saying? But I get
Mm.
like the whole transformation thing, like all the everybody just hinting to him, like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? But
It would be cool because we've seen it done already. We've seen Spider-Man carry his own films, but Spider-Man, like the way I think about Spider-Man, he's the heart and soul of Marvel. Like I'm not talking about Peter Parker, I'm talking about Spider-Man himself. So he's typically in everybody's suit. You know what I'm saying? He's in everybody's hood in Marvel, or if they're in his hood, he's always there, or he's gonna show up eventually because it's like he is the community, he is the city. Like you're not gonna walk through without seeing Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel what you're saying, but at the same time, to be a contrarian, I'm like, but Spider-Man, like if they in his hood, he's gonna show up.
yeah, but I feel like we got that with Far From Home.
Mm,
I feel like we got that with the first trilogy. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
Iron Man in the first movie, second movie, yeah. Uh, what's his buddy? Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this movie had Hulk, Punisher, Jean Grey. I just hope the next movie, okay, we got the Fantastic Four. Like, is there gonna be a movie where it's just him and a villain and the villain? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get one of
Yeah.
those type of movies.
I don't think
So
that's gonna happen with Tom Holland's Spider Man because he exists in a world where all these other heroes exist, and the argument for so long used to be, you know, Spider Man's in New York. Like, where's everybody else at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where's the Fantastic Four at? Where's Daredevil at? Where's blah blah blah? Like, I think now that it's a universe, he ain't finna get his own film. Like, not this felt like the most independent Spider-Man film of the four so far. And I think a lot of people were, prior to this film, questioned if Tom Holland could even carry a film, you know, from Uncharted to all his other, like, he was
Odyssey.
the main star of the movie type junk. Like, they were questioning whether he could carry a film or not. And I feel like he did a good job at really stepping into this role, and he took ownership of it. And I feel like the main focus was Spider-Man. Like I said, with No Way Home, to me, it felt like the main focus was the villain, Spider-Man. There just had to be a hero, and Spider-Man was the hero. But there were also two other Spider-Men at the end of the film. No Way, or Far From Home, Mysterio really didn't become. He was the villain the whole time, but he really didn't show that he was the villain until the end of the movie. So it was like Jake Gyllenhaal was really carrying the film. Homecoming, it was like anytime Iron Man stepped on the scene, he like took over the scene, or anytime Michael Keaton, Vulture was because Michael Keaton's such a good actor, and he also played Batman, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like it was his film. This one just felt like it was Tom Holland's film, and I do think to piggyback off of Miles, yeah, it was about growth. And the reason why I like this movie so much is because everything that Peter has dealt with leading up to this movie, he was able to draw from and use as tutelage for Jean Grey to develop into who she's gonna be. Like, because Jean was going down a real self-destructive path and like a path of chaos in this movie just to try and get her sister back. You know what I'm saying? And she was really finna fly off the rails, especially since towards the end of the movie she unlocked, like, not her full potential, but she unlocked a lot more use of her powers that she already possesses. And if she would have
Right.
been like, had Spider-Man had not went through what he went through, like in the previous films, then there wouldn't have been none of that for Peter to draw from. So
With that, you could say film because the scene that is recalled was no, that came early in, I think, his career when he had that talk with Mary Jane. But I feel like his real lesson was in No Way Home.
Hmm.
When
Expand on that a little.
when was that speech with Aunt May? Like that speech she gave him.
I'm not sure. I don't
I
know if
don't
that was
know.
in any of the movies.
I don't think so either.
No, that speech was in.
I don't
Which
remember. I
one?
don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. It might have been one of the earlier films. Just might be on it.
I think this movie really spoke to me because, you know, recently we had a conversation where the theme was about not being able to get to the next level alone. And it's crazy because we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out, and it's almost bar for bar kind of the conversation that we had. And just to see Peter Parker go through the things that he's going through, he's watching Ned and MJ live these lives without him. He wants to reach out, but he can't. Or he's trying to handle patrolling the city, and his handler is telling him, yo, you gotta chill. But at the same time, he's like, well, pretty much in his head, it's, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And she's trying to tell him, hey, like, we got this, just relax. And I think that's a message, especially for young men, that really needs to be absorbed, because you can't do it alone. No matter how much talent, no matter how much skill you have, no matter what you're trying to do, whether it's music, school, sports, whatever, You gotta have a team behind you. That's the only way you're gonna get to the next level and keep your sanity and stay yourself. And I think this movie really touched on that and highlighted that. So that was my takeaway from it. I really enjoyed the perspective that Cretton once again shouting him out that he took with this, because I can see again like he pulled from his prior experiences. I'm sure he saw that in the foster care system, like people were probably dealing with things alone, and he chose to emphasize on that in Spider-Man, and I think that's great. So next, let's get into favorite moments. Let's go ahead and do that. I think we've been talking about our thoughts during the film. What are some of y'all's favorite moments? Jess, we'll start with you.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, Obviously, one of my favorite moments is, gosh dang, watching Spider-Man and Hulk fight, bruh. Like,
Tickle
they
each other.
finally, gosh dang, made Hulk 5 for once, dog.
When you got big on that boy, I was like, hold on,
Bruh.
that dude said,
Finally. I don't like the part how they had, I don't like how they had the building like weighing Hulk down, like Hulk went and just like shrugged it off, but you know, it is what it is. Like the scene ended kind of awkward. I didn't like how it really ended, but when he transformed, I was like, oh yeah, that's when it got real for real.
And they actually showed like him transforming. Like you could see
mm-hmm.
Mark Ruffalo's face, and it was like
Right.
green, and he was like mutating into the Hulk. So it was just like, all right, it's not just weird ass Bruce Banner Hulk. Like we can see
Yeah.
him going to the.
And then I like another one of my favorite scenes is when MJ leaves the Punisher's hideout and they go back to MJ and Ned's apartment and they're all sitting around and they're kind of like catching up. Obviously they're not because Ned and MJ don't have any real recollection of Peter Parker, but for Peter it kind of, you know, he was like, I can't remember what MJ asked, but let's just say she was like, how are you doing? And then Peter was like, are you kidding me? I'm having the best time of my life, or you know, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a payoff. He kind of got to spend that time because you got to think the movie starts with Ned and MJ like freshmen in college, and by the time Peter or Spider-Man gets to hang out with Ned and MJ, they had already graduated and moved back to New York. So like a whole 4-5 years passed, and Spider-Man's been dealing with the events of No Way Home and being alone, and you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So when he finally got to like spend that time, it was cool. It was cool to see. So those are probably my two favorite scenes from the movie.
Miles, what about you, brother? What was your favorite scenes from the film?
For me, all the swinging scenes, the swinging scenes was lit. I liked the Hulk scene, but I wouldn't say it was disappointing, but it wasn't like it wasn't like too exciting to me. It was just like, cause
What did you
that
want from it?
I really didn't want nothing from it. I just at this point with Hulk, bro, I don't expect nothing from it, bro. Like they done did my boy so dirty. Like he at the bottom of the bottom, and it's like, why, bro? Like, why? In every game, in every movie, yeah, they just be doing my boy Hulk dirty, bro. So I didn't expect nothing, but it was cool. I did like the Hulk that they showed. I was like, okay, that's what he need to look like. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Hulk for sure. I did like that. My favorite scenes though, I definitely like that real ass talk. Frank gay. That was, I like shit like that. Like, yeah, fuck nigga, listen, nigga, yeah. He told him what's up for sure. Uh, I really like that scene when when he allowed Gene in his head. And
Mm-hmm.
first, I gotta say this shit for my cuz, cause he a real true Spider-Man fan. Just to let you know how far Spider-Man is. He allowed Gene into his head. Like, that's how far, you know what I'm saying? Like the Spidey sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how strong the Spidey sense is. I'm not really up to date on the Spider-Man shit, but my cuz, when I was talking to him about it, he like, bro, you heard what you just said? Allowed, nigga. Like, so, but that scene was hard because it really showed the Spidey sense when like after they was finishing up the conversation, bruh. This man Frank was like 4, 5, 10 blocks away, like, and then you hear the
Mm-hmm.
like
That was crazy.
that was hard. Like when I like, yo, this tough. Like just in that alone, I was like, yeah, that's fine. They really like this some real Spider-Man joint. Like for them to show like how his senses can work, even like him not even him being in his head, just like it was almost like on some meditation shit. Like you meditating, like, and then he heard the gunshot, and then him jumping in front of the bullet. Oh yeah, I liked that scene. And then the hospital scene, that joke was funny as hell. Bro. I ain't gonna lie, I
Yeah.
like that scene. I did like that shit. When he woke up and Frank was about to cry, whatnot, and he was like, I got a real good idea. And he had to sneak that man about the hospital. He like, yeah, with the hey, that was smooth. That was smooth.
Kevin.
Yeah, the hospital scene was fire. I really liked that Peter got the opportunity to kind of sit in his flowers. You know, when he's standing in the crowd and seeing how everyone appreciates him as Spider-Man, even though by the end of the movie, I think the only two people he's confirmed to hold a partnership with or a relationship with is Jean Grey and Punisher. He can still see all the people that care and support him and want better for him. Like he was in the hospital, everybody in the city pulled up. Like that was really touching to see, especially where he started off at. You know, of course, going back to the Jean Grey scene, the Aunt May and Peter / Jean talk. Seeing it a second time, I watched that movie twice and I almost cried both times at that part. Cause it's just so real. Like May saying sometimes you'll be really lonely. And sometimes because you're special, people can do dark and monstrous things to you. I want you to know that you're beautiful and the people who love you, we love you not because you're special. We love you because you're you. Even when it feels like you're totally alone, that's your deepest responsibility. Never forget that no matter how powerful you become. Like those are words that are going to last no matter how many other Spider-Man films come out. That's going to be referenced for a while. That's beautiful writing, beautiful direction in terms of directing and delivery. And just seeing Jean swap out with Peter, and Peter, you can see that Peter was playing that scene back in his head. When he was at his lowest point, he would always refer back to that conversation. And being aware and present enough in a moment to see that Jean needed that and giving that to her, like that, I don't know, it still gives me goosebumps to kind of see how that all played out. And of course, the scene with the fake MJ and
Yeah, that
her
was crazy.
saying, hey, bruh, hold her. You've been waiting so long. True love's kiss breaks the spell and reunites the star-crossed lovers, referencing Romeo and Juliet. The Jean Grey keeps calling Peter a simple spider. Like, there were so many great moments in this film we could keep listing off, but I would say those are my major highlights. But let's go ahead and move on to post-film thoughts after the film. What did and didn't work for you in this film? Miles, I know you mentioned Hulk and Spider-Man.
I wouldn't say it didn't work. I just feel like the film is brand new day. Like
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'll give you a second chance. Like I feel like it'll be the next movie that I'll be like, that I really start to judge it. I'm not really judging it. I like the movie. I think it was a good movie.
Yeah. What would you like to see in the next Spider-Man film? Let me rephrase.
I don't know, bro. Like,
Hey, it was a good movie then.
for sure, but I don't know. Spider-Man's just not Peter Parker. Like, I hate to keep going back to like Miles Morales. Like, just how that movie, like the structure of it, the foundation, and just it's just so like solid. Like, it's relatable. Like, sometimes it be the music, bro. Like for real, I feel like music really be like bringing people back to movies, and sometimes like these directors, they don't use like mainstream music, like, or you know what I'm saying, something that'll like bring you into the movie. Like, but this Spider-Man is probably not that type of film, or I don't know, but I don't know. It was pretty good. If I could make this movie, the Spider-Man Hulk scene, yeah, I want to see that. Like, give me at least 15, 20 minutes of that. Like how they did Iron Man and Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a lengthy fight. That fight wasn't even nothing. And like just said, it just ended. Like, nigga, come on. Hulk, you could shrug, like he said, you could shrug that off. Like, but I don't know, are they trying to show like the power of his webs? Because at that point, was he using the organic webs or was he using the cartridges?
Oh yeah, the inhibitor on. So that like they could have even expanded on that. Like Hulk like smashes him in it. Like he hit that nigga with the Loki smash, bro. He could have got his name, broke his inhibitor off, and that would have made Spider-Man really turn up. Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like it's been some times in the comics Spider-Man done went with that nigga Hulk, but like at the end of the day, I mean, to have Hulk just be sitting there restrained by a couple of building blocks, like,
not building
and webs, like, bro, you just showed Professor Hulk break out of that nigga webs when he threw the web bomb at him. Professor Hulk just broke out the webs. So when Hulk turned up, he can't break out the webs. Then that didn't like. But I'll get into that when it's my turn, though.
Get into it. Hold on. Get into it.
So yeah, those are some of the things that don't work for me. I don't like Punisher.
Why?
I don't mind Jon Bernthal playing Punisher, but I don't like Punisher's character. He's way too emotional. He's way too like bro,
8 mode.
If you watch Ray Stevenson's Punisher from Punisher Warzone, bro, that's how Punisher's supposed to be, dog.
Who is it?
Ray Stevenson, the dude who
that's a movie?
Yeah, Punisher Warzone. If you watch that, that's more of a better representation of a live action Punisher, dog. Like that dude, the guy staying kill somebody and be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for the audio listeners.
Dang, when did this come out?
Like, so yeah, I'm not too keen on or fond of the Punisher. I won't say Jon Bernthal's Punisher because I think he could do a good job. I just don't think they're all the way from the Netflix TV show. I don't think they're not doing Punisher right. Based off of what I know about him in the comics And there's even a animated Marvel movie with the Punisher in it. And if you watch that fight with him versus Black Widow, like that's how that dude was supposed to be moving, bro. Like, and then I
He
don't
was
really like.
dumping on Hulk though, bro. He was
He
dumping
was.
at it.
He was doing what he was supposed to do. For real, for real. And then I don't really like Jean. Like, I don't like her. I don't like the direction that they like. Peter at the end of the film is gonna be like, "You're not a killer." But bruh, she walked dude up into oncoming traffic, got him hit by a car. She done took a whole APC and drove it through a prison and then rigged it with a bomb and blew it up. Then she tried to kill MJ. It's like I kind of get what Peter's saying, like you're not a murderer at heart, but you can't just throw that out there and then try to make it. Don't try to make us feel for Jean just because, you know what I'm saying, she's supposed to be a hero. I like
Let me
I
say
can.
something on that. So I feel like I feel like they leading into the whole X-Men thing of like humans not liking X-Men. So
Right.
if that didn't happen, then there would be no reason for humans to just not like X-Men. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that that's where Professor X come in. Like he teaches these people who have special powers who don't know how to use their powers, and they may use them for good or some may use it for evil. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I ain't knocking what you saying, yeah, but I just feel like that's without that, then it would be no lead up into X-Men into why people would hate them.
That's true, but I don't like them using Jean Grey because she's never been that. Throughout her whole existence, she ain't been that.
She becomes
character.
the Phoenix. She becomes the Phoenix.
But that's not Jean Grey. Like, she's more so possessed by a different power. But I don't like them using Jean Grey. I just didn't like it. Just doesn't work. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, you're not a murderer, you're not a killer," and then I mean, she obviously was trying to kill people. I mean, I get her reasoning, and I'm not necessarily saying Jean Grey is wrong in what she was doing because, you know, the whole movie was basically, well, not the whole movie, but a certain part of the movie is Peter being the mature person in the room and him basically taking a minor Professor X role and kind of steering Jean in the right path. But Jean Grey as a character, that's not who she is. So to just use her, you could have used, well, I can't say you could have used anybody because not every mutant has telepathy and telekinetic powers. But I mean, I don't like them kind of doing that, and that's been Marvel's problem, is trying to like skew the lines between villain and hero, where to me it should just be a clear villain and a clear hero. Like, I get everybody has their progressions and their arcs and stuff like that, but that doesn't work for me. And then another part that didn't work for me is Spider-Man being able to just automatically like come into his powers. There's a whole comic of Daredevil basically training Spider-Man to be able to hone in on his abilities even further, because Daredevil is so adept at using his senses because he doesn't have eyesight. So he's so honed into his ability. Peter goes to Matt Murdock and he asks Matt to basically train him to be able to use his powers to his fullest capabilities. And I just didn't like how at the end of the film, where they're in the prison or whatever, you know, Spider-Man is just really able to just tap in and just use it on a whim. I guess you could argue that, like, from him being Spider-Man for so long, he's kind of used to it. But these are like, he ain't ever shot organic webs before, you know what I'm saying? And he definitely didn't know how to use them whenever he did, like, um, go into that state where he was like that blacked out state. He didn't know how to use it. Um, there was a little glimpse when he was fighting Scorpion, but I just didn't like how it was basically just like, oh, this dude knows how to use his powers all of a sudden. Because if we are talking X-Men, a lot of them don't know how to use their powers. Like Cyclops and, I mean, all the X-Men like who go to Professor X's school, they don't know how to use their powers. That's the whole reason why they go to the school in the first place. So, I don't know. That didn't work for me either.
I think I would add that, you know, going back to the point of him using his powers in a prison and with Scorpion, it seemed like with Scorpion, he used it in an actual fight when he was angry. And then in a prison, it seemed like he used it when it was a life or death situation. And even then, I think Peter still wasn't in control of his power when he was fighting Scorpion because he hit the police car, he almost killed someone, and the only thing he truly did, he punched around Scorpion a little bit and then shot his web at him. I would say that I don't think he knows how to control that. I mean, it's hard for us to say either way because after he used that power against the Hand, he didn't use it again for the rest of the movie. So maybe we will get a montage where he goes to Daredevil and he tries to hone it in more. But yeah, those are some pretty good points. I just wanted to kind of highlight that.
But I think he did because he used his spider sense to save Jean from being shot by the Punisher. And like when he went into that state, we saw how overwhelming and overstimulating all of his senses were.
Right.
And for him to just be able to, like,
Spidey sense though. I think that's Spider-Man and just having Spidey sense. A lot of people like no other Spider-Man movie shows how good the Spider sense is. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why he went to Daredevil. But I can't remember what comic it is, but when he goes to that dude Daredevil, that dude pushes him so far where Spider-Man has to, like, zero in, like, on his spider sense because he's telling Peter, like, you don't know how powerful your spider sense is. And I think just for that dude to just, like, automatically get it or whatever, like, know how to tap into it. That's like basically showing up to a dojo karate class and then you're like all of a sudden a black belt. Like, it takes 10 years of training. Like,
maybe he just suppressed it though. Like maybe he just accepted it, and it like he still ain't unlocked everything. Like,
and that's fair.
Yeah, and I would add that, like, we had the Spidey sense scene when Punisher shot the rocket at the tank at the APC at the beginning, but when Jean was jumping body to body, he was like, "Wait, what the heck?" Like, it wasn't like his Spidey, like he relied on his Spidey sense. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're over here." When the grandma was in the tank, he opened it. He was like, I mean, you know, like, hey, shout out grandma. But when she was in it,
he did. He was using his senses then. But
it wasn't like he was like, "Oh yeah, you're over here." He was just like, "Wait, what?" And then when he shot the web at that guy's foot, he didn't do it. It didn't look like he did it and was like, "Oh yeah, I know you're over here." It was almost like an instinctual reaction, like, and then he turns around like that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope we get that scene where he trains with Matt. That jump would be. That sounds fine, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just don't think the movie was insinuating that he knew what he was doing per se with his Spidey sense or with the enhanced powers.
Tomato.
Lettuce lotto.
The question was, what didn't work for me. So that's what didn't work for me. But that's not me saying the film is bad because of those things. Those are just some things that.
And then I really think the true villain of the movie was what's his name?
Metzger.
Bill Metzger. Yeah, I think he the true villain of the movie.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
But I don't think he's a Spider-Man villain. I think he's a X-Men villain.
Yeah.
Future movies.
Yeah.
Damage Control.
It's something else, bro. It's another name that they. I'm pretty sure it is Damage Control and Spider-Man, but they become something else. The ones who create the Sentinels or whatnot.
It looks like Miles is diving in, looking for the other
Well,
name
that's
of the
Stryker. That's Stryker who creates that. Stryker is the one who creates I can't remember. Trask. William Trask, yeah.
But ain't it like a anti-mutant organization though?
Yeah. But I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about too though.
Hey audience, put in the comments what the name is, inform us. But yeah, I guess final question. Who do you guys think this movie is for?
I definitely think it's for your Spider-Man fans because anybody who likes Spider-Man will enjoy this film. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but I would put him in my top 5.
You're number 1.
Dang, top 5. Gotta be like top 3, bro.
Is that top 5 Marvel? Like you separating them, or you just all combined? DC and Marvel.
All combined.
Okay, who your number 1? Batman.
Man.
There you go. I'm glad you know that.
I'm your brother.
But it's for your Spider-Man fans. You could take, little kids there and get them introduced because I mean, Spider-Man is the most popular superhero in the world, alongside Batman and Superman. But you can get them. So for kids, there's a little cussing in there, a little blood, but just I think it's for your average moviegoer who just goes to movies to be entertained. That's really what I do because I'm not gonna go sit down and watch a movie like Oppenheimer in the movie theaters or whatever. Like I watch them, but I like to go to a movie and see, watch movies like Godzilla and stuff, watching a whole bunch of stuff going on. But I'm glad I went and saw it a second time because my initial movie going experience is I go in, kind of turn my brain off, and just let the movie kind of happen and experience it in its initial state, like for the excitement and the thrill of it. But to go back already knowing what's happening or what's going to happen and to like sit down and really get to analyze like what is Peter going through? What is Jean Grey dealing with? How are all these relationships finna impact the bigger picture? You know what I'm saying? Like I genuinely feel like this movie's for everybody, to be honest with you. And to be able to make a movie like that, it's pretty amazing feat.
Especially today.
Yeah.
I can tell you I am not the biggest superhero fan. If I get most of my superhero knowledge from these two gentlemen right here. But coming into this, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I got another. I did not care for Avengers. I've never seen Endgame or any of the Infinity War or whatever have you. The 3. I've never seen them. Yeah.
Well, you already messed up saying 3.
What? There's 4.
There's 2. Oh,
okay. I don't know, man. Hey, man. That's how you know I'm telling the truth, but coming into this movie, I can definitely say it's for someone who loves great film. I think this is a great film first and a superhero movie second. and I think it takes some risks in terms of emotion, in terms of making Spider-Man dark, but not relying on a symbiote suit, or not pushing Peter or Spider-Man outside of what he is, but still being able to show the different emotions of these characters that we're talking about right now. I think it does a great job at that. I think Cretton, Tom Holland, Zendaya, I think the whole cast did a great job of making a film first and a superhero movie second. So if you're not really into superhero films, but you're interested to get started, I think Brand New Day is a great starting point. I honestly think it's a great reset point, not only for Spider-Man, but for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I hope that other superhero films kind of follow suit with Brand New Day. I'd love to see Thor take a mature approach like this. I'd love to see Hulk, like we mentioned before, do the same thing. And yeah.
But
Thor
he
has
did
already
though.
matured. Yeah.
That's why.
Hey,
Well, I was
man.
gonna say Hulk, bro, in the 2003 movie, bro, that 2003 Hulk, bro, that's my
Yeah.
favorite one, bro. It's my
Yeah.
favorite one to explore the mind of Bruce Banner and like,
Oh wait,
like
which one you
yeah,
talking about? The big green one?
yeah, like the. I think they were kind of restrained from what they could really do with the CGI and like Hulk, but like as far as exploring Hulk's mind and making that differentiation between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Like they're two totally different personalities. Like they're not even the same person. Hulk just inhabits Bruce Banner's mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Hulk is his own entity. He's his own character. So like, bro, that 2003, the I forgot his name now.
Is that Edward Norton?
I forgot the director. No, that's 2008.
Mm,
But yeah, that movie's fire. But Ang Lee, that's his name, the director, Ang
mm,
Lee.
mm.
He did a great job at. I love that movie, bro. That movie's so fire.
Yeah.
You think you can live with it? Take it off.
Mine is the 2008. I like the 2008 Hulk. I like the raw savage, the fight. Like
Yeah.
him and Abomination going at it. I like the 2003 one because that was like the first whole movie that came out, and I remember as a kid when that joint came out, and I first watched that. Boy, I was like, yo, like even the dogs, like when you look at it today, like bro, these scenes is really weak. Like he ain't really fighting nothing, bro. He ain't really fighting nobody for real. But it's just like, bro, this Hulk, wait, he got them flex, he's got them biceps, bro. But he jaw like, yo, yo.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, you thought we didn't peep that?
And it really shows like what Hulk could do. Cause Buddy was really moving in that bit. Remember, you got that running.
Hey,
He shoot missiles at that.
that dude would jump. That dude jumped from like states, bro. That nigga would jump from like one
Yeah.
state to a whole nother state, bro. Like,
That dude
and he
shit.
would get bigger when he got angry too, dog. When he got angry, then would get bigger,
Yeah.
bro. Like, man.
At the end of the movie, that nigga was probably big in one of them buildings, boy. Like,
That's the point I'm like trying to make, is that I want them to get back to making those mature films. Like the last Thor movie I know of is Love and Thunder.
Love and poo poo.
That's the most recent one. What is it called?
Poo.
So it's like, yeah, I want Spider-Man to be that reset era of, okay, let's go ahead and make these Marvel films a little
can see
bit
that.
deeper. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
facts,
that'd be
facts.
I
hard.
can see
That'd
that.
be fun.
Like
So,
the
we'll
beginning
see.
of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you haven't watched that 2003 Hulk as an adult, it's so much different. Because I remember Hulk is still in my top 5, but that dude was one of my favorite superheroes. So watching that as a kid, I was like, bro, this movie's trash. But if you watch it now as an adult, bro, That movie's so hard. And I will say this too about the new Spider-Man movie. I love how they just let scenes breathe too.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you
Yeah.
brought up Love and Thunder, it made me think of when Sid, one of Thor's longtime friends, the female warrior, the Asgardian warrior, when she had got her arm cut off or she was dead or whatever, because I think Gore the God Butcher had came through and like messed up whatever.
Mm.
Like they're just sitting there like laughing like, ah, you're right. Like this is supposed to be a real impactful like emotional scene. This is one of Thor's like best friends, and they're
Mm.
laughing at like her death, like they're making fun of it. Like Marvel has had such a long period where they insert comedy where comedy doesn't belong. In this film, it
Mm.
had its good comedic moments, even though I hate the moment where Punisher is in the hospital. Like, "Ugh." It's funny, but like it was at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
movie ended. Let's end on a good note. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know, people are dying. Like MJ is like falling to her death, and it looks
Mm.
like Peter might have killed her, like some of the other Spider-Men have done, like shooting a web and breaking
Mm-hmm.
her neck. Like they let that breathe. It wasn't like, oh, you're alive, thank God. Ha, I'm glad you didn't
Mm-hmm.
break your neck. Like something stupid like Marvel's been doing. So yeah, this is a good movie, bro.
Nah,
Yeah.
you did that joint had me hard. That raised my. I
Yeah.
like, oh shit, hold on. She about to die, bro. Like, nah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that would have been
those
crazy.
small things, and I know we're kind of deviating from the question, but the fact that they let the homage that they pay to other movies breathe, like you said, just like it wasn't until I watched the movie again when he was fighting the hand at the end, when he was trying to get to Jean Grey, that I noticed he hopped on the cage like Toby did in Spider-Man 1. I
Yeah,
didn't catch that in the first time I saw it,
I
but
got you
how
for
he
30
hopped,
minutes.
yeah, and that jump was so fire. I was like, bruh, like they pay homage without making it look corny. And
Right.
and that's kind of the summation of how good this film is as a Spider-Man film. It's not corny at all. Like the only joke I didn't like was in Spider-Man was like, "Oh, you stretch much? I ain't trying to. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
You
I ain't
trying to
like
get
that
in
either.
there? Yeah, get in there and do your thing." I didn't need that, but
Right, y'all don't stretch.
Yeah, it was just how it was just
It's important.
the initiation of it. Like when he got down, man, you doing? What he on, man?
I don't know, bro.
I was stretching my legs for the audio listeners.
Stretching his life.
Miles, you got any closing statements? Who you believe this film is for?
Nah, y'all hit it. Y'all touched on it. I think
Alright.
like I agree with everything y'all said. The kids. I don't. I don't think like you not into like comic movies. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good movie. I agree with everything. Yeah, for sure. For
I
sure.
will say there are some moments to go back on what didn't do it for me. There are a couple moments where the CGI is a little off, but nothing is
Mm,
so egregious where it takes you out of the film. So there
yeah.
will
And
be
see,
moments where you see some of the CGI and you're like, huh? But
Mm.
I don't be noticing. Like a lot of people be saying that. I don't be noticing that, bro. I
I
be
didn't notice it on
intrigued.
this one either.
I be like, I be intrigued, bro. Folks be
I
talking
mean,
about
it is.
CGI,
Look,
but even like when they be talking about the suit, I don't be noticing
Kevin,
it. Like,
look.
All right, bro. But yeah, with the suit,
yeah, like from the old movies, like we was talking about the Iron Spider suit. Like, I
mm,
knew it was all CGI, but I don't really be noticing like a difference.
yeah,
Somebody would have to put it on screen and then like
mm,
show me like this is the difference. But I can tell like with the realism shooting, putting on the mask and
mm,
stuff like that. It just look more legit.
yeah. They blended it so well. The one scene I can kind of point to is when he lands in front of the damage control building, and like I swear I don't know if it's CGI that becomes like practical effect or if it's just a whole practical effect. But when he swings and lands in front of the building, you see him kind of step like that. Like when he lands, he's like doom 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 doom. And in Homecoming, when he would land, it's like he would land like this in a pose and then get up, and you could tell that was CGI. But in this movie, because it's more practical effect, he's kind of skittering to a landing, which makes it feel a little more like, okay, Spider-Man just landed here, and he's like walking into the building. And I think those little practical effects in the right places, like you said, Miles, makes it harder to see if it's CGI or not, pretty much.
I do wish they would show Spider-Man jump more, bro. Every time he went to go jump in this movie, they cut away. Like,
oh yeah.
I want to see how high that nigga can jump for real, bro. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Hey, man.
They cut away from it every time he went to go jump. The screen would cut away. Like, man, come on, man.
That dude Tom Holland had to do the Odyssey. He ain't trying to jump, dog. He's trying to get that.
And it's crazy, you know, Punisher, Zendaya, and they always in Odyssey. But them boys, hey, man.
Hey, man, shout out. Hey,
get up the bag, get up the bag, get up the bag, get up.
Say we got shout out to Odyssey too. If you ain't seen that, go see that.
We could talk about that for sure. Oh well, somebody got to see it, man. But hey, man, that was this episode of the Second Thought Podcast. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Definitely go check it out in theaters. We're about to go ahead and close it out, but before we do, here's a message from our sponsors. First off, go ahead and check us out everywhere, all platforms, TSTPC ATL, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. That's what it is, TSTPC ATL. Check us out everywhere. Don't forget that you can also submit comments, topic requests. If you want to be a guest host, go ahead and hit us up, TSTPC ATL, on Instagram or our Patreon. I bet you didn't know we had a Patreon page, TSTPC ATL. Type it in the Patreon page. Your Patreon page. So
don't forget to like and subscribe, please, and thank you.
Yes, like and subscribe.
Bro, you ain't even shooting the web right. Look, nigga, you look like Tobey Maguire. Look.
Hey,
remember when that dude was like this?
Look at me.
That dude was like this. Go, Web, go.
Yeah,
that dude was like this.
Me and Spider